Hi everyone. In this video, my friend Mete and I are hitting the road with our film cameras. No real plans, no exact route, just a loose idea to head towards the small towns called Tuusula and Kerava. It was a fresh spring day, right before May Day, and you could already feel summer in the air.
Before we reached the towns we came to photograph, we stopped near the airport and waited for the evening light.
It's a popular place for plane spotting since they fly really low right over your head. That's the best part about road trips with Mete. We just stumble upon ideas and make detours on the fly. After a quiet moment, the sky came alive. Here are a few shots I took, just some good, simple warm-up frames.
I had a roll of Cinestill 400D, the Nikon F3, and a feeling that sunset might give us something worth remembering. Even though the sun was pretty high still, so we caught kind of different vibes that I was expecting.
I noticed these massive power lines cutting through the blue sky. I wondered if I could catch the plane perfectly framed between the cables. Turned out pretty well. Mete also caught a nice BTS shot of me.
This was a fun photo to take because there's so many things happening at the same time, so came out pretty interesting, but I liked the outcome.
Along the way, we spotted this interesting industrial area full of old car repair shops and warehouses.
There was something about this pile of tires, the shapes, the light, the way it looked completely out of place. And I've always been drawn to things that feel like forgotten. And most definitely this was a spot most people will drive right past, but we stopped because somehow we just found it very interesting. And that's part of the reason we keep going, because you really never know what you end up photographing.
We explored the area a bit more. The place was packed with random stuff. This shot of the truck has a wonderful strange feel to it. Then I noticed the metal bars and the reflection in the window. I asked Mette to step in as a model, and I took this silhouette portrait. I actually really love how this one turned out.
Most of my photos start with a feeling, not a subject. But this pile of broken concrete or rocks, an evening sun, somehow that was enough for this shot. It's one of those photos that the more you look at it, the more it makes sense. Also, this shot, part of the same building, I just love the way the light was hitting this side of the building and it came out pretty good.
Next, Kerava. We parked near the railway station and stumbled upon a traditional open-air spring market. People were selling things straight out of their car trunks. There was such a warm, timeless feel to it. I captured a man buying sima. It's a traditional Finnish sweet sparkling brew we drink during this time of the year. I even asked the vendor if I could take her portrait. What is a photo trip without a railway tunnel? Somehow Mette and I always end up in these places or similar dark parking garages. The light in this tunnel was beautiful as well.
This elevator we found at the train station felt super futuristic and somehow really, I don't know even how to describe, but it was just super interesting. And it's one of those places where people pass by every day, commuting to work and back. And from the outside, it's just a train station, but standing underneath it, it feels more like a movie set.
I love these shots and the liminal in-between feeling I often look for in my photography. We walked around the center of Kerava and found this quirky little courtyard hiding an Asian restaurant and an old camera shop. Here are a few frames from there. Nothing crazy, but nice and moody. At this point, I decided to switch camera and load a roll of Cinestill 800T.
I love these places that sit somewhere between ordinary and strange, places you've seen before but never really looked at, like this place. It's so common, but when you actually stop there and pay attention, it's a whole nother world. Like just a simple corridor, empty corridor, can give you a feeling, and you can't really find words for it. That's the magic of taking photos of these kinds of places.
The sun began to set, so we headed out of the town center. We found ourselves outside a quiet warehouse. There was something very still, almost ghostly about the atmosphere here. The photo itself might be simple, but it captured the mood perfectly.
This ended up being my favorite location of the trip, so shout out to Lauri for finding this on Google Maps. An old industrial building at Blue Hour, exactly the kind of place I can't resist photographing. It was getting darker fast, but this place somehow felt like it was just waking up for us. The trip took us through a lot of places, but this was the one that I kept thinking about afterwards.
We realized the planes were flying low here too.
And here I had this vision of taking a portrait of Lauri when the planes were passing by. But the plane here ended up a little farther away than I was hoping for, but the feeling was still there. So I was really happy about this shot because I've been meaning to take more photos of people, and this was just the type of photo I've been meaning to take. And here we found another jackpot, blue hour and some red neon, a combination I'll probably never get tired of.
I just love these kinds of places when the night falls, completely silent, except for a single glowing light and someone still working late.
And me and Lauri talked about it a lot, like just an industrial area, a few street lights, empty road. You know, somehow that's enough to bring back a feeling we can't really explain. The level of nostalgia we found here was just amazing.
This one right here might be my favorite shot of the whole trip. The glowing palettes look amazing in the dark. It feels like a scene from a movie. There was also a truck parked by the side of the road that caught my eye. And of course, I had to snap a classic caravan shot for my ongoing series. The shadows from the trees on the wall worked out beautifully. Before heading home, we drove back to the center of Kerava. Earlier in the day, I had noticed a few signs and lanterns, and I wanted to see how they looked in the dark. With Cine still in the camera, it was definitely worth the return. I'm really happy with this one. The day was over, and it was time to drive back to Helsinki. It honestly felt like we lived through two completely different days, the bright afternoon and the cinematic night.
As the trip had come to an end and we were heading back home, I realized that most of these places will look exactly the same tomorrow. But for one evening, we made them become part of a story. And maybe that's the whole point of trips like this. Together, we take places people pass by every day and turn them into memories and photographs.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed joining us on this journey, please give the video a big like. Subscribe to the channels and leave a comment below. It really means a lot to us. See you next time.